Hello folks, this is Audiotron 1003 and today I'm going to show a few of my skulls that I have in my collection in a little more detail than I would normally do in my previous tour. This time what I've done is I've decided to get all of the children out, as it were. These, with the exception of the human skull, which is in there for comparison, I wanted to show the juvenile monkeys and apes that I've got in the collection to show basically what they look like before they mature. Now, first of all, I'll tell you what I've got. This one I recently bought and put on my channel. So this is a juvenile crab-eating macaque. Okay, I hope you can see this. I'm worried that the lighting in here is a little too bright. I may have to switch something off to darken this, or perhaps change my angle. That might be a little bit better to try and get the features shown. So that's my juvenile crab-eating macaque. This is my juvenile vervet monkey. Okay. The reason why I know these are juveniles is basically the sutures haven't set properly. The bones are slightly out of line because they're still knitting together, and the facial features are not mature, so they're very small in comparison to, say, an adult. Now, I'm not an expert on this, but I do know that as a lot of primates mature, their facial features do sort of change and they stick out more, and their brow ridges become more prominent. Skull crests sometimes develop, especially with some of the bigger species. So those are my small children. Here we have, this is my juvenile baboon. Now, I bought this some years ago, but I can't tell, and nobody can tell me whether it's a juvenile female or male. I'm often told with juveniles that it's not always possible because they're still developing. Only experts would probably be able to tell me, but this is my juvenile baboon, so I'll put that one back. And this, I do know, is a female juvenile chimpanzee. So this is real. Now this skull is around 100 years old, or so I've been told. When I bought this years ago, I was told it was from an ex-museum many years ago, and around there it's sort of yellowing. It's actually yellowing brownish sort of colour, and apparently you only get that when things start to get really old. So that's my female chimpanzee. The face is reasonably flat, and the brow ridges aren't too prominent yet. So I was trying to do two things in one video. So that's my children, as it were. And if I move these out of the way briefly, I'll take those out. And the other thing I wanted to share was I read an article in a book I have somewhere about human beings being the everlasting children in terms of their facial features. Now, whereas most primates, and especially the great apes, they develop skull crests, brow ridges and other such features round the top here, they have great crests and all sorts of features. We never really get beyond the juvenile stage, so our faces always remain flat, and this is how we are. So that's us. Now this is a replica of a female Asian woman, somewhere around the age of 30, and Asian as in Indian, Pakistani, that sort of origin, whereas these two are obviously monkeys and much smaller. And these are both juvenile, like I've said earlier in the video, and their faces are still quite flat. Now, this is a vervet monkey, and this one is a totally different species. So this is my macaque. Okay, if I line them up together, they're virtually identical, with exception of the general shape around here, because they've not matured yet. They're still, well, if they were alive they would still be growing. So I wanted to compare, just for curiosity, the similarities. So if I pause the video for a second, so I've paused the video just to get my rhesus macaque monkey. So this is fully grown. This is a male rhesus macaque. So basically what should be happening is this little guy, when he or she grows up, should look a little more like this. So there's a difference. But since they're basically children, as it were, they have very flat fronted faces, and they haven't developed any of this like the adult, which is why I wanted to share with you my my thoughts on why, after reading the article in this particular book, why I kind of believe that we are the everlasting children, bearing in mind these are our facial features. Anyway, I hope this video was interesting. If anybody's got any comments or could perhaps help me out with a little bit more of a scientific background, I would very much welcome it, because I'm always learning about these things, because I'm a pure collector. So any information anyone has out there that could help me, I would be very grateful. So thanks for watching. Bye.